Rock branded back scrubber.
Ew.
What is like the copywriter taking the day off? That's as best as we could do.
Where do you get that? Do you get that at a conference? Is that what they
I
hand
get that from a
out?
college kid. I get that from a writer.
Oh.
It's a Business Fans Friday show here at Juneteenth Studios featuring analyst Hole Matt Moscardi.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth.
Why are we working?
I don't know.
Because you were away. On today's weekly wrap-up, ESG is okay now. Park signs are free to speak again. And billionaire bromances.
Billionaire bromances.
We've been talking about billionaire bromances forever. They're getting worse. They're getting more.
Feels like the only thing we talk about anymore.
It is. Our show today is being sponsored by Free Flow Analytics and freeflowanalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power connections and performance for free. Not that anybody cares. I certainly don't care. But I got a login this morning to beta test the new platform, so it does exist.
Look, if you're listening to this show, you're one of two people that listen to this show.
Congratulations.
Email me, matt@freefloat.llc, and maybe I can get you beta access to the new platform. There's no reason why we shouldn't invite people to have beta access. The new platform is, well, I mean, it's
better than
way
the old
better
platform.
than the old platform,
That's all I
right?
can
Like,
say.
that's the bar. That's
Yes,
the bar.
It is way better. You ready to do this?
Definitely that. Am I ready to do this? All right. I guess I'm ready to do this. Let's do this. Story of the week.
Wow, what an intro.
How many do you have? 93
4.
stories of the week this year?
4.
This week? All right.
Always 4, but sometimes I cheat a little bit. The first one, as an example, the first story is big media dictatorship craziness.
So it's like 19 stories?
Yeah, 19 stories. But I just noticed it's just like it's just worth laying out there that the nutty world of our media in the United States, and how it's controlled by dictators and romances with Trump. But I'll try to sum it up. I'll try to go quickly. First, the Justice Department decision to allow Paramount deal surprise staff investigators, surprise some of the DOJ lawyers. And then on top of that, the UFC had its, this is the headline, the UFC's despicable night at the White House. So, and the reason why that's important, and I'm not going to go deeply into the weird bloody fight that happened at the White House, but that's a Paramount thing.
Yeah, it was all.
Just so you know,
it was
an
live
Ellison-
streamed.
It's the Ellison family.
It was live streamed in Paramount,
And it's
you had
also
to
the
pay,
Dana
like,
White of the UFC.
$19 or whatever to see it.
So if you need another reason, I know you talk about it with your friends, like, oh, I wish I could quit Instagram or something. If you want another reason, Dana White, who runs his CEO of the UFC, is a board member at Meta, who runs your Instagram there. So maybe that's another reason. Anyway, so the takeaway from the story, I suppose, is that the DOJ, which is basically controlled by Trump now, kind of just jumped the gun and approved Paramount's $111 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery.
I thought that was an FCC thing, isn't that?
No, okay. So there's a lot going on here. So the chairman, Brendan Carr at the FCC, supported the merger, but the FCC hasn't technically weighed in yet because there are regulatory hurdles there because of the fact that there are huge equity stakes held by sovereign wealth funds who aren't even American. That's the thing that's even crazier about all this, is that we're celebrating America at the White House by beating each other up, and Paramount is running the whole thing. And yet what most Americans don't know is that wealth funds in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and Qatar are now going to be major owners, really, of Paramount.
Also, I can't get over. I know, we could talk about the ridiculous mess it is to have men beat each other to a bloody pulp on the lawn of the White House. Sure, let's take that as road, okay? But the fact that we're doing it to celebrate freedom and democracy, 250 years of freedom and democracy in America, in an octagon full of dictators. Mark Zuckerberg's a dictator. Dana White works for, yeah, he runs UFC. That's owned by Ari Emanuel, who
That's
runs
a dictatorship.
it's
TKO
a
Group, is it?
dictatorship.
TKO
Like,
Group, right?
it's literally a bunch of dictators
Yeah.
who all are dictators together celebrating democracy and freedom.
I love the freedom part too, because there was a story that all federal workers have to wear they have to wear a freedom pin.
Yeah.
Or
Nothing
else.
says freedom like being told you have to do something.
And then I have a story later about how the park signs at state parks, Trump forced them to change the language. I mean, that's freedom, right? You have to change the language on your park sign. That
freedom
sounds like
is
freedom.
do what I say. Yeah, I believe that's.
All right. Well, there's some more going on with this Paramount thing, but it's still not quite over because a lot of state attorneys general are still fighting this. One of the big problems is the debt. Is that there would be massive debt at the company for the Ellisons, right? And they don't think that they're going to be okay with this. But of course, Trump's DOJ is like, don't worry about it. Let's just forget about it. Anyway, so that's the Paramount thing. Let's stay with the big media stuff. So Comcast, which is a dictatorship, it's controlled by co-CEO Brian Roberts. He has 34% of the vote. 42% of shareholders said no on his pay. And if you take out his vote, it's 80% of shareholders said no on pay. This is the crazy thing about media. This is the fascinating thing about the media industry is, first of all, we talked about it all the time. It's a magnet for all the egotists like the Nelson Peltz. They want to come in and they want to buy things. The families, the Ellisons, they want to buy media. But then the shareholders, they get angry at pay in this industry, unlike others. So to carry on with this sentiment at Warner Brothers Discovery, which is not a dictatorship at the moment until Paramount buys it, David Zaslav's pay was rejected by shareholders. 84% said no. 84%. I don't know if I've ever seen a higher rejection of pay. But do you think this is the influence of the Ellisons who are just like, we don't want to pay this guy? I don't know. This media just makes my head scramble from a corporate governance perspective.
Isn't there's sort of, media's always been like this. But I don't understand how to parse it because it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Like,
I guess you're right. It doesn't.
Like first of all, the say on pay is advisory. It's not
non-binding,
real,
yeah.
right? Like, so it's non-binding, so they can pay him anyway.
But it does represent the true sentiment of shareholders, so I think it is interesting.
But they're rejecting David Zaslav's pay, and they okayed
84%.
Elon Musk being a trillionaire.
I know,
Like,
I
I
know.
don't like what is the?
I don't know.
I don't understand the disconnect here, right?
don't
Like,
know.
do we just not like David Zaslav?
I mean, Tesla is basically a failure, and you could say that Warner Brothers Discovery is not a failure. I mean, we could go that simple, right?
we could distill it down.
Yeah,
And,
Warner Brothers has been it's been a strong company in this country for 100 years. I mean, it's basically shaped our entertainment
I don't know
industry.
how to do anything anymore. I don't really understand.
Well, how about the fact that by letting the Ellisons buy Warner Brothers Discovery, we are kind of losing one of the few remaining non-dictatorship media companies. It has no major shareholder, which is rare. So it's like, why are we even letting that be taken over in the first place? But that's a whole nother conversation.
I can't even get into the idea that like everything is consolidated with the dictator at this point. Like,
speaking
every
of
industry.
which, now I have to get a new solution for my TV watching. All of a sudden, Fox, which is the Murdochs, Lachlan, I think, alone controls 36% of the vote. Fox is now acquiring Roku for $22 billion. That just happened like suddenly.
I guess.
Sure, right?
Yeah.
So there
I guess
goes my
when
Roku
you have like
fund.
billions sitting around and you got nothing to do with it, you just buy shit. Like,
and this is why these dictatorships are so stupid, because I wanted to point out one little twist. There was an AK that came out this week which said that the compensation committee at Fox has increased Murdoch's CEO and chair Lachlan Murdoch's his target annual bonus is going up to $9 million, and his target annual equity award is going up to $20 million. If you do the math, it means that basically he can get an increase of $24 million out of all this. Like if you do all the percentage math, so they basically
Sure.
are handing him
What's
$24 million. But here's the cue part: it said in the filing, Mr. Murdoch recused himself from all discussions and votes regarding his employment, regarding his compensation adjustments.
Oh, that's nice of him to not weigh in on his own compensation and oversight. Yeah.
Like anyone believes that.
Also, like,
Not to
what
mention that
is
he
the-
controls the say on pay
he
vote.
controls the company. What is 20?
Yeah.
What's 24 million to him? Like,
And who- and
just
why would
make it
anyone be
100
afraid
million.
of him?
Who cares?
And why would anyone be afraid of yeah, they no, Lachlan, you're not getting a raise. Yeah, someone's going to do that, right?
This is so dumb. It's
all
all
dumb.
so dumb.
Okay, that's all the media stuff going on. Let's turn now to story number 2. They're going to get a little shorter as I go. The
like
government and AI. You know, we had two weird, maybe opposing forces, maybe the same idea, but from the left and the right going on in AI this week. First, this is just nuts to me, but Trump blocks foreigners from using Anthropic's latest AI tech, right? Now,
Yep.
I don't, they're saying it's like for military reasons, safety reasons, national security, whatever. But the background of this is that Anthropic is the only company that has like kind of pushed back against the U.S. military, right? And they just announced an IPO. So it makes me wonder, is Trump blocking it because he's a vendetta against Anthropic? Because he knows that could be ruinous for an IPO if people realize, oh, wait, the government can just come in and stop this company from doing what it wants to do. I mean,
Why
it's
did they not
strange,
do
right?
this? It's simultaneously, isn't it a diss on OpenAI? Like,
I
you
think it's
guys have like a
okay,
you have a
maybe.
cute shitty
I know what you're
AI.
saying.
You
So
know,
what
like
what you're saying is that if you take it at face value, Trump is saying, "Oh, Anthropic is way too good to give."
way too good at this.
But it also could be a favor to Sam Altman, who we know is a big buddy of,
oh yeah, he was
of
sitting
Trump,
with him at the G7.
because he's also IPOing, but he's not restricting the use of their product. He's only restricting one company. It's nutty. Of course, that happened late last week, and then I see an article this morning. Of course, the headline being Trump's Anthropic restrictions may be illegal. I mean, they're almost certainly illegal.
Yeah, they're just fight it. It's fine. They'll
Yeah.
fight it. It's just
Anyway,
going to cost them money.
At the same time, we got Bernie Sanders weighing in on AI. Now Bernie has gone the other direction, but still, government intervention. But he is introducing a $7 trillion plan to give Americans control of the AI industry. Essentially, he's saying America should be 50% owners in these enterprises, and we should be giving annual dividends to all citizens. He's calling it an AI sovereign wealth fund. So he's going for it from a different direction. We know this is not going to happen.
No,
But
never
and I
happen.
know
It's cute.
you think it's cute, and you poo-poo Elizabeth writing letters and Bernie come up. But I actually think we need to come up with these kind of counter arguments. I mean,
Look,
you need to start somewhere, right? I mean,
I think we actually need to just do. I think that two things need to happen.
they need to be controlled utilities.
If you're going to give children a Trump account, right, like to buy off children, apparently, and you're going to let Michael
And their
Dell,
parents.
help fund it so that he can win government contracts. If you're going to do all the graft on that side,
the government contract's worth way more than he pledged to
then
give.
then
to
he's
the
going to
account.
pledge,
Way
right?
more, yeah.
Exactly.
And not to mention that his stock went way up because of the contract.
So he wins twice.
He wins like 40 times. Yeah.
And you've got on the other side, you've got Bernie basically saying, like, Americans need to have an equity stake in companies that are displacing Americans.
Hey,
like,
Trump took an equity stake in Intel.
I don't think it should just. I think there's a missing component here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is that the all equity stakes that all equity in America, there can't be dual class. There can be no dictators.
wow,
They have to be democratic.
You
Because
have a
if Bernie
fan in me in
Sanders-
that one.
Well,
Yeah.
if Bernie Sanders is basically saying like we should take 50% equity in these companies, but the other 50% is like run by a like Sam Altman, or it's like 50.
Well, it's the equivalent-
9.9, right?
They have these in Europe. They call them like golden shares, right? Where the government really they have a say on things.
I mean, it has to be the case that like we should just get a straight vote. We should pick the directors. It shouldn't be golden shares where we're only allowed to talk about like mergers or like a couple of things.
No, you're right. A
I
straight
want a
common stock
straight
ownership.
common stock vote.
Absolutely.
Give Americans in their stupid like Trump accounts, like in a sovereign wealth fund, a stake of every company that's displacing them up to 50% or more, and they get to vote. They get to vote on the idiot running that company.
The most important takeaway we had last week during this show was that we were talking about SpaceX, and we're both kind of deflated to the point of resignation with the thought that this is it.
We're done.
There is actually no way for anyone to affect anything going on with Elon Musk at SpaceX. He has completely insulated himself from everything. So, yes, I agree. Of course, I agree that we need to break up dual class companies, but I don't know. I don't know
good
why.
that you and I agree. That gets a lot of stuff.
Although
done.
maybe you had the same experiences that I have. This is a complicated subject. It's a complicated ownership model. It's something that a lot of people don't know. But when you actually have the time to sit down with people and explain it to them, 100% of them agree with you.
They all think the same thing.
So I don't know why this is something and I don't know why when media covers these stories that this is not one of the important things that they latch onto.
I don't know why investors continually buy and think this is okay.
They should divest in every
I don't
Zuck watch owning. All right, okay, let's move on. Okay, now we'll get a little lighter. For Jim Cramer. Okay, Jim Cramer of CNBC says SpaceX investors aren't buying earnings; they're buying Elon Musk. Okay, that's the headline.
Yeah.
So
sure.
So I think that the mainstream business media, Jim Cramer, the world, the country, America, I think we've okayed ESG again, right? Because
wait, why? How? What?
Well, I thought the whole argument against ESG is you're introducing these non-pecuniary goals, right? Like all these like non-money goals, right?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
So if we're investing in the governance, essentially, of SpaceX, and this is okay, we're okay with the meme stalkery of Tesla and SpaceX. We're investing in Elon Musk. We're ignoring everything else. And I'm looking at you, NASDAQ, and whoever else okayed this, all the exchanges and all the institutional owners who okayed this and are investing. Then you're basically saying that ESG should be back on the table. All those lawsuits are bullshit because that's what's happening here. But that's what's happening here. This is a pure ESG move. You're making the assessment that the governance at SpaceX is beautiful and that we're going to put our money into it. We don't care that we have no voting power. We don't care about anything. We don't care that they don't make money, that they're liars, that they're racist, that they're Nazis. None of that matters, right? So to me, ESG is alive again. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
that's the
argument they would make is they're investing in long-term earnings.
Well,
They believe in the long-term earnings. But I would
there's
say,
there's no proof of any of that.
Long-termism ESG? Isn't
Yes,
that the
it
point?
is.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so you're using this doesn't benefit your clients, your beneficiaries like this year. This doesn't.
No, if anything, it's a major risk.
It's a huge risk. You've taken on a massive amount of risk, and you're going to say long-term earnings. Well, I totally agree with you. How is that different from saying
it's not?
I don't want to buy that company.
This is it.
There's a huge risk in the future.
This is it. ESG is back. That's the third story of the week.
And
finally, God bless you, Japan. I just watched Japan in World Cup. They did well there. They tied at the very last second.
They look pretty good, yeah.
This is just nuts from our American corporate governance perspective. So I had to include this story. Fourth story of the week. The headline is Drunk Crew Causes 30% Pay Cut for a Major Airline CEO.
Whoa.
Okay, this is nuts. So in a nutshell, some flight attendants were drinking in between flights, like on a layover, and this is obviously a problem, right?
Is it?
It well, yes. I
Yeah.
don't think you want drunk crew members on any planes, when they're responsible for your safety. Anyway, Japan Airlines thought it was very serious. They immediately apologized because they said it severely damaged the trust placed in us, blah, blah, blah. And they said basically that this is a systemic screw up, is basically what they're saying. Like, they're not just blaming the flight attendants. They could have just fired them, right? Scapegoated
Yeah.
them. They're saying, we're blaming all of us. Like, this is a problem. Like, we can't be running an airlines where the customers think that we're all a bunch of drunk idiots and that we don't have rules and we don't follow rules. So here's what they did. They implemented, this is a corporation in our database, right? This is not just some like stupid thing I'm making up here, okay? This is not like
Okay.
your Doug's bagels. I didn't know Doug Chaw had a bagel. Does
Yeah, I
Doug
didn't
Chaw
know
have a
that
bagel
either.
shop?
Doug, reach out to us. I
So
like bagels.
they're implementing disciplinary measures affecting both frontline staff and senior management, starting with CEO Mitsuko Totori. Unfortunately, she does happen to be like the first woman to lead the company, and there aren't.
Come on.
I want to look beyond this. Like I
Oh, I
can't
hate it
imagine there's
now.
many CEOs in Japan who are women, but
15%.
she started as a flight attendant at Japan Airlines, so God bless her. So she accepted a 30% reduction in salary for 2 months, while other executives are also getting temporary pay cuts, including directors. The entire board will receive a 10% pay cut. And then, some of the middle managers, safety manager, cabin services manager, and then they're implementing new policies for the flight attendants. Anyway, can you believe this? I mean,
Isn't this just
accountability at a corporation.
But isn't it just a woman like taking
Well, how do you know-
the blame for
Well, maybe it's
a
her
thing that happened?
idea. Maybe it's her idea.
It might be her idea. Well, first of all, it proves that women should just run every fucking
Yes,
company, right?
exactly.
Like because
Exactly.
the chances
Immediate
that
accountability.
the probability that they hold themselves accountable when something goes wrong
And not
is
just
significantly
fake,
higher.
not just fake accountability with a fake apology, but they're actually giving money back.
I mean, 30% for 2 months. I don't know how
Oh,
much that
stop.
is.
It's
It's probably
something.
like
Come on.
$17, right? Like,
You cannot poo-poo that. And they don't make
but-
huge amounts of money in Japan like they do here.
but I'm just so disappointed that it's a woman. Like
I know,
the
I know.
chances of it being a female CEO are 9 to it's 9 to 1, right?
In America, it's already horrible. There, it's got to be worse.
It's worse than here.
Yeah.
Like how does that?
Anyway,
it ruins the story. All right.
But God bless the accountability at one core. I mean, imagine if Zuck or Musk or Bezos were accountable for every goddamn screw up.
They're not even accountable for their own charitable donations, which they do like once a year for like $10, and like to put out press
I mean,
releases.
Altman's chat agent is like cheering on suicides, and he doesn't. There's nothing going on, but he's not even losing like one doormat at one of his Hawaiian homes. Like nothing.
There was a story I didn't cover this week, but they
Yeah.
that you pulled that Altman and OpenAI had to like rush out because you could ask OpenAI to show me an image of a sex crime, and
my God.
and they were like, we probably shouldn't do that. Like
But everything is an afterwards.
everything's an
Yeah.
So my stories are the big media dictatorship craziness.
A lot going on this week, starting with the
Just
UFC. Yeah.
disgusting. The government and AI with Anthropic and Trump, and then Bernie, Jim Cramer, who sanctions ESG.
Yes.
Apparently. Side note: I actually like. He's a guilty pleasure of mine. I kind of
Okay.
like Jim Cramer. I don't
right.
like his blowhardiness. I don't like how much he loves every CEO.
I just wish they'd put us on. Like, why can't we have an overnight shift at that station?
I don't
Like,
have
put us on
enough
at 2
buttons
a.m.
that make boings, apparently. And then drunk crew causes 30% pay cut for a female Japanese airline
True,
CEO.
but just think. Can you believe that headline's real though? I mean, can you believe that actually happened?
It's a
All right,
weird-
what's your
it's a weird
story?
headline.
What's your story?
It's got to be. I don't like it, but it has to be like the directors or the dictatorships in media, like this ongoing march to having 3 media companies.
This is trouble.
And can we fucking dispel the idea that liberal media exists anymore? Every one of these are massive
college radio.
conservative conglomerates.
There's a college radio station near me that like 1,000 people listen to. That's
I mean, not
liberal.
even in podcasts. They're like the top 10 podcasts are all like
true.
conservative podcasts. Like every conservative is some victim of liberal media and liberal elites. There are none. It's
think about
all
this.
fucking conservatives.
In the last 12 months, we have gotten rid of one of the pillars, the institutional cultural pillars of our culture, which is 60 Minutes. Like we're basically they're ripping it apart. Do you ever think they'd get rid of 60 Minutes of all things?
I didn't think they'd get. I try not to think about it, but it just means like I can't. You know what I watch now? Telemundo. It's the only thing I can stomach because. It's Peacock owned, which is Comcast, which is still a dictatorship, but at least it's in a language I don't understand, so I can't be upset.
All right, let's move on.
All right, let's do another. I don't know what we're doing next. So
we're trying to now. We got to try to be happy after all that.
Oh, Goodliest. Oh yeah, I've got 2 Goodliest.
I have 4.
Wow, you're happy this week.
Yeah, I have a Goodliest speed round. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. This one made me
yours
smile.
are sarcastic,
ear to ear. No, this one legitimately made me smile. Nearly 80% of data center capacity is at elevated risk to climate hazards like flooding and fire, study says. Just think about it. Because we've gone through all this effort to basically ignore climate change in this country, they are building data centers in drought-ridden areas
I was gonna say,
in front of wildfires,
yeah.
right? Like we've gotten rid of data on climate change, and the end result is our tech bro, morons and the enablers of these tech bro middle schoolers are building the most important thing to run their empires.
This worries me though. Is this
on top of like tornadoes?
I feel like Blade Runner is like coming true. Like, are we going to be at a point where we're going to have like brownouts and blackouts because we need to give power to AI? When their data centers are imploding, and we're going to have to for the next month, we're going to have a brownout because
the fact
Sam
is
Altman needs some juice to create some kind of video or something.
We're already doing it. We know by surveys the
this.
number one unifying thing for both conservatives and liberals in this country and increasingly in other countries is their hate of data centers.
And
data centers,
and increasingly social media, especially for kids.
No one works in data centers. They like to say it's like job creating. There's like 7 people who run a data center.
Yeah.
And the data center takes all your water and they try to recycle as much as possible. And I've read all sorts of
Don't
things
take my water.
But they still have to take the water, and they take all your power, and they charge more for power. And now companies, we covered how there's literally a Berkshire Hathaway subsidiary in Nevada who took all the power.
Yeah.
All the power for Reno, Nevada, and gave it to data centers. All, not some. The town was powered by a company that said, find a new power source. We're giving ours to a data center. Everyone hates them.
Wait, you're veering off Goodliest here.
They're building them in the ways of fires.
So your Goodliest perspective on this is that they'll get destroyed by nature?
It's fabulous.
Okay,
It's basically they're building with their eyes closed because like they're so egotistical.
I still think they'll figure out how to pass the buck on that disaster. What's your other Goodliest?
My other one is Meta sued for over $100 million by Eminem's team for illegally using 243 songs. I like that. Eminem's fighting back. I like that.
I had a lot of Meta headlines I actually scrapped this week, including the fact that Mark Zuckerberg admitted that Meta made mistakes and they'll probably make more mistakes in the future. And by Meta, he should just say me.
Just say myself. There's no we, Mark. It's just you.
They're calling like what the CTO says morale. Meta's CTO says morale is almost the worst it's ever been. Meta wants Congress to shield it from child harm lawsuits as legal pressure mounts. And my favorite one was that Mark Zuckerberg orders surviving Meta staff to have fun following brutal job cuts.
I like that. I got that later. Yeah.
His idea of fun was he wanted to reintroduce a hackathon.
Oh, woo!
And a hackathon, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't that just mean that the people have to stay and like do some stupid thing on their computer? It's like some like
you sit there, you
extra
have like
hours.
a code problem, and
Yeah.
you code for like 24
That
straight
sounds
hours.
and that's supposed to make people
That's fun.
feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun for everybody who doesn't have a family and or children,
Ugh.
like even a dog, because it sucks otherwise.
The only pleasure I get out of all this is week to week thinking like, who is the worst of these dictatorships? Like, who is my biggest
That's not
villain?
pleasure.
All right. Here, I have 4 I think that are mostly good based on just the headline.
Speed round them. Let's
Yeah,
speed round
line.
it.
Melinda French Gates advice to new IPO millionaires. She's looking at SpaceX. She says, give half your money away. That's simple.
I like that. You can follow that. That's a good rule.
Judge rules. Trump administration cannot erase slavery and climate change history from national parks. We talked about this. Always a female judge.
Well,
and
it's
yes,
a woman, right?
female,
I was going to say it's a woman.
The next headline: the global under 16 social media ban is no longer a fringe policy. This is taking over. Under 16 social media bans.
I
think
like
the UK is now on it. And then finally, Target, Walmart, and Amazon among brands losing LGBTQ plus consumer spending. I just thought that was interesting because it parallels a lot of the reporting that we've done about DEO and the DEO flip-floppers and the boards that suck, because they're saying that LGBTQ plus spending represents $1.7 trillion in the U.S. annually. And they mentioned some of the companies that are being rewarded are the companies like Costco, for instance.
Yes,
top of the list.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
The people getting punished is one thing. The people getting rewarded is even more satisfying. Like Costco vocally supported DEI,
Yes. Didn't have to.
LGBTQ, and it wasn't just like the company was like, no, we're cool with this. It was a board member who was out in the world being like, it's fucking stupid to not talk about DEI. You don't have to like wave a pride flag in everyone's face, but you do have to understand that diversity is a strength. Period. End of story. And we're sticking with it.
This is proof number 2 in our show that ESG is like a thing. Like it matters. Like it's an actual thing. All
Also
right,
proof that Charlie Munger was right because he liked Costco so much. Those
he's
are pretty
always,
good.
Yeah, he's right. All right.
I'm gonna, if I have to vote,
pick. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
I know
gonna
which
go
one I
with
pick.
the LGBTQ plus.
All right, fine.
I think that's the winner, right?
I'll just agree.
Yeah, because that's all we do here.
All right, let's go. I was going to say the park signs, but that's just reversing stupidity.
Yeah,
so
it's
it doesn't
reverse
really
60. You
count.
can't be good. Assholeiest. All right.
Yes, I'm psyched.
Which is the bigger asshole move?
Do I get to play?
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
giving
it.
you 3 categories. I'm going
right.
to give you all the categories, and then I'll give you just headlines underneath them. But
All right.
is it a bigger asshole move to be a part of a secret club?
Oh, nothing's worse than that.
Is it a bigger asshole move to gaslight to get votes?
That's bad.
Is it a bigger asshole move to threaten and complain because you're the victim?
You'll have to explain that one, yeah.
Or is it a bigger asshole move to take everything while no one's looking?
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that one.
All right, so these
All
are
right.
big asshole moves.
Go ahead.
There are headlines for every one of them. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Number 1, being part of a secret club. Headline, Trump's boys. Here's what it is. See the celebrities and business execs who showed up to the UFC fight at the White House. Just as an FYI, none women. None of them were women.
Nobody.
No.
Well, who would have
I
it
don't-
been? I mean, who
I'm
likes
not even
him?
sure there were women there.
Yeah.
Like, there's no evidence that there was a woman there so far.
Were any of the fights women or was it all men? What do
Did
you know?
anybody
I don't
watch
know.
it?
I don't know.
even
I actually
know.
don't know anyone that watched it. Yeah.
I didn't even see like highlights of it.
Can you imagine the World Cup's going on and this guy is holding like fights at the at the White House? I don't know.
Like
This guy's a maniac.
the biggest tournament in the entire world is happening
in our on our continent.
country.
Yeah.
I don't think Donald Trump is going to a single match. Is he? Is he going to? I think
don't
he said
know.
he might go to the final because it's happening in a James Dolan approved
Oh, great! Another
venue,
Dolan
probably.
joint. Yeah, good.
Speaking of, Jensen Huang on his relationship with Trump calls me in the middle of the night.
I don't like that idea because that's when
I-
Trump's most angry because he's always angry tweeting in the middle of the night.
I know. So what's he angry calling
I don't
Jensen
know.
Huang for? A signal where power sits. Trump and world leaders joined by OpenAI, Anthropic, Google at G7.
I was going to cover this. This is like
Really?
was almost too dystopian for me to like wrap my hands around. Honestly,
Really?
like at the G7 with the leaders of sovereign states, like the Macrons of the world, the dictatorships of OpenAI are showing up. And what the
I,
hell?
I mean, the dictatorships of Google, Anthropic, and
Yeah,
OpenAI.
horrible.
Like, we only pick dictators to show up to
I
like a
suppose.
diplomatic gathering that happens like once a year.
With supposedly democratically elected leaders.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How about being part of a secret club if you're an incel middle schooler? Leak exposes members of Peter Thiel's secretive dialogue society. Have you read this?
Yeah, I was going to include this too in the story of the week, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. One of the things he did too, speaking of ESG, is they have a grading system too of all, and I couldn't wrap my head around because like everything that this class of people does and do, it doesn't make sense. Their methodologies are like created by 12-year-olds. So I couldn't even understand the grading
I didn't
system.
even get that far. I didn't even get to the methodology of the
I
grading
think
system.
Wired has an article about it. So when you can, check it out.
You have to read this because everything that these people complain about,
Yeah.
everything is like George Soros and the secret backroom dealings of
It's
liberals.
petty,
and
it's paranoid, it's
and
childish.
they have constructed an entire alternate reality for themselves such that they have their own actual secret society
Yeah.
that shows up at an actual conference every single year. And the people are like range from like total far right loonies to the masters of the current universe, the middle school masters of the universe.
Yeah, it's like Scientologists. And,
Some of the
yeah.
the conference topics included preparing for World War III
Well, of course, because they're probably going to perpetuate it.
and how to have better sex. Does it get more incel-y than
Ugh,
that?
yeah.
It's the grossest thing
I
I,
don't
can
like
think
this.
of.
Yeah.
How
And
to-
how about the fact that we only learned about this because there was faulty code? Isn't this like the technocracy? Their code wasn't.
They got the code wrong.
They
got
got
wrong.
the code. They got the code wrong. Yeah,
They got
exactly.
the code wrong.
Yeah.
How about regulatory fist bumping? SpaceX gets assist from DOJ in effort to toss NAACP air pollution lawsuit.
Of course. Yeah.
How's that for a secret
I mean,
society?
And you say SpaceX, but you mean Musk,
I
right?
mean, Musk, Doge Bros are their own secret
I mean,
society.
he's going to get a regulatory fist bump constantly. I mean, that's what
And-
he's going to. That's what he bought. That's why he bought Trump the election. Yeah, go ahead.
And then I had to include this last one because it's just funny to me. You pulled it and it had nothing to do with anything except that I read this headline and I thought I was doing secret societies and whatever. Chef Carl Wilder joins Secret Street Tours board of directors.
Why did I tag that? Why did I target
You
that? I
tag
probably
that
just
because
saw
you tag
join
every
board.
time anyone. This is how
Yeah.
methodical Damien is.
Ugh, I hate it.
Damien will go through every headline that has XYZ joins boards.
But it
of
has
directors.
to be a proper name. It can't just say two directors. It has to be a name in the headline.
And he pulls them all. And Secret Street Tours is the name of a Dublin-based nonprofit that works on homelessness with guided
Okay.
walking tours.
All right, I like that.
And I thought it was like funny to put that as part of being
Yeah.
a secret.
No,
club.
I'm with
All right.
you.
All right,
That's the
number
first
2.
one. Secret
That's-
club of bromancy
clubs.
billionaires. Yeah.
That's a bunch of assholes. And is it a bigger asshole move to do that or to gaslight for votes? How about this headline? Voters reject effort to hike Oklahoma's minimum wage.
I'm glad you've also included this one. I wanted to somehow include this one. I was trying to think of like a thesis statement about how the fact dual class votes versus voters in our democracy voting against them. I couldn't figure it out, so I'm glad you included this one. Yeah, what's your takeaway here?
Here is the amazing quote.
Unbelievable. Was
Was
it even close? I don't even know the final result.
It was actually close. It was close-ish. But like all these votes are like
It's a heavy.
close-ish.
Oklahoma's a heavy Republican state. Like I think it's like 66, almost like 2/3 Republican voters, right? Heavy.
Is it that little? I
Okay.
mean, I think it's even
Okay.
more.
Yeah. Well, there are cities in that state. Yeah.
There's a quote by a guy named Chad Warmington,
Uh-huh.
who
Is that
literally
made up?
looks. No, it's not made up.
Yeah.
He literally looks like he was like freshly 3D printed out of the white guy who says stuff machine.
Yeah, it sounds like a Smurf or something.
Yeah, he is the president and CEO of the state chamber of this. Of course, he's president and CEO. I'm sure he's chair also.
Oh, you
He
mean
had-
like the business roundtable of Oklahoma,
yeah, it's like a
essentially?
business thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He had this to say: the state chamber applauds Oklahoma voters for rejecting SQ 832. Tonight, voters chose to protect Oklahoma's economic momentum and one of our greatest competitive advantages, affordability. So
What? Affordability
his-
for who?
The argument was
This is
that
sick.
if you give people a living wage,
This is sick.
then they can't afford anything
This is just sickness.
because
just
the
makes me
companies pass the costs down to the consumers, and they can't now. Now everything's more expensive, and you can't afford it. So instead, give people. Oklahoma is one of the only states left that still has a $7.75 federal minimum wage
Wow.
level. They stayed at the federal minimum wage. Meanwhile, Washington State. 1713 is the minimum wage because it's pegged to CPI. It's
Yeah.
pegged to Consumer Price Index. So people in Washington are like, they get more money because
Yeah.
prices go up and they can keep affording
Even that
them.
seems low, but yeah, not compared to 775.
Talk about a gaslight. That
That's sad.
affordability is the reason why they want to pay you less.
That's all right. Move on.
Here's another one.
crushing my
Tesla
soul.
allegedly showed cooked data to get full self-driving
Oh.
approved.
Shock. Yeah.
Okay, so they basically got that vote. Here's one. Governor Gavin Newsom vowed to stop California's billionaire tax. He has just over a week left to keep it off the ballot.
But he was a proponent of it originally, wasn't he?
What are we doing, Gavin? What
Yeah.
are we doing? Why are we now like vowing to stop things that you said were necessary?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, am I constantly being gaslit of what's real and what's not?
This is a one-time tax, by the way.
Here's one of my favorites: Nigel Farage, the UK. We don't talk a lot about UK politics.
He's conservative, right? Tory, conservative.
He's not. He's like the New Reform Party or something. He's like
Okay, so he's
literally
right-wing?
like farther right wing
Oh,
than
okay,
like worse. Okay.
Yeah.
The headline is Farage's pro-women law.
Pro-women. Yeah.
Already you've got a problem. Like it says the pro-women law. The pro-women law could slash equal pay rights and cost female workers.
Because does he mean pro-women, meaning like it by keeping them home and not working, that's good for women
I
kind
don't
of thing?
know what he does.
Yeah.
Anybody know what he means?
No.
He called it the Women and Motherhood Protection Act to replace the
Ugh.
2010 Equality Act.
I don't want to. Just don't even.
And the way it's written would basically like reduce pay protection for women, reduce access to quality health care. It's like classic. Let's call it the We Love Women Act, and then make sure it takes away as many rights from women without them noticing.
It at least reminds me that we're not the only crazy people in the Western Hemisphere. At least, like there's a lot of other countries like going to the right. They did well, didn't they, in their recent elections?
I think they took the page out of our book, though. I mean, this
whatever.
Trump thing is like, all right. And then the last two
Yeah.
are like shareholder versions of gaslighting. Most Palantir shareholders vote for human rights probe. Why it won't happen? Like you need the headline. Like just write Palantir is dual class. Every vote doesn't matter, right? Like it's a private company.
Yeah, when they said most, what they meant was that the non like controlling shareholders said yes, but it doesn't matter.
It
right?
doesn't matter.
It's a
Correct.
weird headline.
Why it won't happen is it doesn't matter. And no ESG related shareholder proposals pass in 2026 proxy season.
Okay, can I talk about this one for a second? I don't know why you pulled this, but I'll let you go
Because
first.
it's a gaslight.
Yeah,
None
why?
of them passed last year either.
Okay,
or the
but
year before that. or
Okay,
that.
but there's actually something important here that you're missing because I actually spent some time with this. I looked at the methodology behind this. This was I think this started in the Harvard Law School Forum on Corporate Governance, but we've been tracking all these votes this year, at least at the major companies, and it's actually not true. There have been ESG related shareholder proposals that passed.
Yeah.
There have been a few from Jim McRitchie and shove it
They
in because
separate the G.
yeah, right. I looked at the methodology. It says,
I know, I
"quote
saw
We exclude proposals with a governance focus."
Yep. Yeah.
So how the hell are you? How the hell is the headline no ESG related? What are we doing here?
I don't know why everyone
Why
thinks
are
there's
you
no
allowed
G.
to exclude G?
I don't know why they think there's no G in ESG.
What
the
the heck?
acronym very clearly has a G in it. It's got
Thanks,
a G
Harvard.
sound at the end of it.
Yeah, I
but
used to trust you, Harvard.
So those are
can't take the G
gaslighting
out
for
of
votes.
ESG. All right, okay, keep going.
Number 3, threatening and complaining because you're the victim. You said you needed. I'll just speed round this because you
Go.
said you needed. These are self-explanatory. Amazon investigating engineers who criticized AI data center expansion. These are 3 engineers who showed up
Investigating.
at a local political event, like to talk to
Oh.
their reps, and they said, there should be moratoriums on
How'd they know they showed up? Did they post it
unclear.
online or?
I don't know. I didn't see, but
Okay.
now they are.
I don't like that.
They're basically investigating them for saying bad things,
Thanks,
having bad
Bezos.
thoughts.
Good one.
New York Amazon driver fired for posting pro-union content on social media.
Why is that? For that reason? I thought you.
I'm sure you could make up a reason.
Not a part
but,
of free speech. Okay, all right.
That's a truth out.
That's
but,
a double Bezos.
Yeah, double Bezos. Yeah. U.S. tech billionaire issues stark China warning. American companies have been hollowed out by the red dragon.
What? I saw that one. What the hell does that mean?
That is Palmer Luckey fucking
Yeah.
talking. Oh
Hollowed
no,
out?
our tech companies are going to be victims of China.
What does that mean?
Our country's going bankrupt because of China. Meanwhile, you guys are all fucking billionaires and dual class dictators.
What's the
what are you
problem
talking
with
about?
China? I don't. What's the deal with China?
So
Are they not allowed? Are they not a real part of our global population?
No, I was thinking about this. Like, people are pissed because China steals stuff, right? Steals IP. Fine. I'm sure some of it is stolen, some of it is China.
Only
Maybe
China does this?
Maybe you shouldn't put all your shit in China in the first place, right? Like, if you're worried about it, then don't build stuff there. But you won't do that because you want to build in China because it's cheaper for you and you make more money. You charge the same amount even if it's cheaper for you, right? So, okay. Number 2, if they're winning, be fucking better. Isn't that the American way?
Yeah.
We didn't go to the Spurs and you don't see the Spurs saying the Knicks are winning. We need to change basketball.
I would like to get rid of Dolan though.
But the point is here.
I don't understand this.
If they're winning,
Yeah.
then be
Win better.
Win
Yeah.
more.
It's the same
do
with their-
something different.
It's the same with the electric cars. That's the one that really gets me. Is we're not letting them sell their better electric cars because they're better.
Because they're better, right?
Yeah. right,
and then
keep
the
going.
last 2, Trump administration tells federal employees to wear freedom pins or else.
That's a great.
I
that headline says it all.
Just a great headline.
Yeah.
And Mark Zuckerberg orders his employees to start having fun again after brutal layoffs called their colleagues.
Yeah.
Both of those.
The Zuck. I love the Zuck.
It's just constantly it's not our fault and do what we say but not as we do and it's just so much fucking victimhood.
You gotta wonder at this point that let's look at the workforce of the Zuck company, right? I mean, these are I'm guessing by and large highly educated people, right? A lot of them probably from pretty affluent backgrounds, right? These are not rubes. This is not the hick who like in the natural who just came from a farm and started playing. These are some pretty serious people. Why the hell don't they just en masse unionize?
Forget unionize.
No, really.
Leave.
No, forget the leaving because I get they want a steady income, whatever. Why don't they friggin' unionize at least?
At some point,
they could walk out tomorrow and have collective bargaining power.
But at some point, don't you say the steady income isn't worth literally hating everything I do every single day?
Yeah, I agree with you, but they could start by at least having some power against Zuck.
Move to Washington State and get $17 an hour for minimum wage.
Let's move on. What else?
While no one's looking, take everything.
Okay, I don't like this one.
And this is simple. At Tesla, Elon Musk chooses to exercise options, resulting in a $110 billion payday. Jeff's dream team, Bezos, recruits world's top architects to build most expensive mega mansion on billionaire Bunker Island.
That's the stupidest thing ever. Yeah.
Trillionaire Elon Musk makes $6.4 billion every time SpaceX stock rises
Horrible.
by $1.
I mean, that alone is the reason why no one should invest in space. Oh, there is, again, why is the market indexes, why is it completely separate from morality and ethics? Like, I don't understand, but whatever.
I did the math. I did the populist math, and it's 825.8 million minimum wage hours in Oklahoma. If you live in Oklahoma, it would take you
I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad.
397,000 worker years, meaning nearly 400,000 people in Oklahoma working at a minimum wage job in Oklahoma would have to work a full year just to make as much as Elon Musk makes when SpaceX stock goes up $1.
And those probably aren't very fun jobs to begin with.
That's psychotic. All right, those are your options. Whew. Which is the bigger asshole move?
This week.
Secret clubs this week. Secret clubs this week. Gaslighting voters this week. Threatening victimhood and complaining this week. Or taking everything while no one's looking.
The taking everything while no one's looking, that's unfortunately is an evergreen. Threatening, complaining because you're the victim. So we're firing. What's Amazon up to?
Amazon's up to everything.
I'm worried about
bad.
like, are they using like
dystopian
methods? Like, how the hell are they?
They're
like,
off the
finding
fucking rails.
Yeah. Gaslighting for votes. I mean, the Oklahoma minimum wage thing isn't directly tied to what we do here, but maybe it is, because you said it was the head of the Chamber of Commerce, so he's probably linked up with corporations and companies in the.
It's just horrible. Is what it is. That's why
and then we have being part of a secret club. I'm gonna just. This is a dartboard vote this week because they're all horrible. I'm gonna let it land on being part of a secret club because this Peter Thiel thing is getting a lot of this secret dialogue society, as he calls it, is getting a lot of play.
Really scary, really
Epstein
weird.
class here, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up with headline.
Wow, we're going fast this week. I like it.
What do you got for headlineists?
Finally, I have a headline where I don't have to over-explain it. I think it just says it all. People don't trust AI. They do yearn for Lunchables.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I don't know. So the opposite of not trusting AI is you want Lunchables? I'm a little disturbed by this.
Bigger question is
duality.
How are those two questions on one survey?
I don't know.
Like, who
don't know
put that survey
what's
together?
happening. Yeah, I guess they want a simpler time when they were eating like chemically pumped up ham slices. I don't really know, but I do like that. It just tells me everything I need to know.
I like the word yearn in that headline. Yearn.
I've actually never had a Lunchables.
Honestly, if
I've seen them.
Aren't super expensive. If you yearn for one, you could probably get one.
That's
true.
You? Like my version of it was a kid. I used to get this. My mom, I didn't get it from my mom. My mom, of course, made her own yogurt and gave me a homemade lunch. But the only thing I used to get was these little I got little red knives with a spreadable cheese that went on 4 crackers.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, huh?
But you know what? I don't yearn for that. But I do. But I don't trust AI. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of.
You
I'm
would
halfway
fail
there.
the survey. Fail the survey.
All right.
All right. My
yours?
headline is Mark Zuckerberg is a certified watch guy.
Ugh, I hate you for picking this one.
His collection ranges from $120 Casio to multi-million-dollar time.
I hate that. I hate this. I hate
a watch guy.
Hate him.
Who won the week?
I'm gonna go simple and say Japan for holding everybody accountable. Enough
it's not
said.
Japan. It's the one woman who's the CEO in Japan.
Don't ruin it.
That's all it is.
Who's your winner?
My winner is way simpler than yours. Casio.
Well, that's a Japanese company, no?
I don't know, but I know that Mark Zuckerberg owns a $120 Casio. That $120 Casio that he owns, that was in a profile, is now on sale for just $96. So you too can buy the Casio watch that Mark Zuckerberg owns for $96. It's the GA 2100 WS7A. It's the G-Shock series. in white with blue. You can buy it now. Casio's a big winner.
Okay.
You're not gonna.
That's
buy
a weird one. No,
right.
I'm not. I'm not gonna get anything that Zuck owns. It's just not happening.
Predictions.
All right, mine. Staying with the theme that we're both just talking about. Meta. I mean, really, Zuck. We should call it Zuck. Zuck emulates Japan Airlines by holding Zuck accountable by taking away one of Zuck's watches every time he lays off 10% of his workforce.
Oh, really?
But he has to hit that. He has to hit that threshold, though. When he fires 10% of all his people, they take away a watch.
One watch.
No, but it's his choice of which watch.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
My prediction also involves a watch. My prediction is that the company that makes Lunchables starts selling a watch
with the ham in the watch.
It's the ham,
Can
and
you
it
eat
like
the
turns.
watch?
No,
the ham
no,
is
it's like
ham is the dial.
cryogenically sealed in it, and it turns.
Yeah.
And Zuckerberg buys one.
Yes, and eats it.
And then fires 10% of his employees
then
and
take
gets
it back.
rid of his Lunchables watch. See how I piggyback there? That's all we got. That's Hazelnut Rawless. I'm your analyst, Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float. Hey, again, if you want that beta access to the new platform, reach out. Matt at freefloat.llc. I'll see what I can do for you. I got to ask the people at Free Float Analytics what they're doing about it. But it's super cool. It's super interesting. It's a little janky here and there, but it's fun to try new things. So do that. If you missed Mike and Ann earlier this week, they dropped a show about Saba Capital and closed-end funds earlier this week. And we got a doubleheader today. Proxy Countdown will be coming out also today, so check that out. Until then, good. Bye.